let's kick it off with tell me something good. So what good happened in your businesses last week? Any wins?
I had a long time ago client, 20 years ago, call me and wants to put her house on the market in Del Webb. She said when it's a probate, her dad died, and she said when the attorney asked her, she goes, "Oh, I have a few referrals for," she goes, "I wouldn't use anybody else but Margaret."
Wouldn't use anybody but Marguerite, of course. That's a
Goodness.
great referral. I hate how attorneys do that. Like, I kind of get how, why they do it, but that's awesome. Any other wins? Haley, I think you've had some wins.
The importance of relationships.
Wrote some
Very-
offers, on some off-market stuff, got one accepted, waiting to hear back on one of them.
I know.
Awesome.
I'm like, let's get.
Haley's cleaning up off market. Zillow does not like you, Haley.
I know,
You're beating up on Zillow.
sorry.
All right. And I see some great people in the room too. It's John Rush. I haven't seen you in like a long time.
What's up, my friend?
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah. And then we have Jen. Jen with Good Life. Everybody say hi, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
If you need an inspection company, look no further than Jen with Good Life. Absolutely. Come up here. Can you do the mic? Pickleball tournament.
$75 a player.
Okay.
And it'll be Friday, May 9th, which is the weekend of Mother's Day weekend.
Okay.
I think, so if you're interested, I'm looking for players.
Sounds good. We'll have a good time. I've never played pickleball.
Me
I've never played pickleball.
No.
Everybody's all about it. I've never played it. Okay.
You just want to team up Just with
Don't
us.
be,
We're gonna be the rookie team.
I'm a cheerleader than an athlete. so-
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
With you.
You mind joining you cheerleading?
Sure.
How many of you have paid
I gotta
$75
start-
to see me in that?
I pay.
I pay not to see you in that. And it's good.
I pay you a lot.
Yeah.
You gotta find a skirt.
You should see my dismount.
Oh, God.
It's all right.
So, I know Valerie had some Astros. We got some 5-star reviews on Google. By the way, team, if you don't have a Google account, you're not regularly reaching out to people to build that Google account, you're missing the boat. There are so many people that are using that to determine who they're going to use as a real estate agent. So, and it doesn't cost anything. And Google will allow you to do that. Yelp is a pain in the butt.
They're horrible. They're only paid to play.
Pay to play, and I've even started paying, and they're still not letting my reviews show up. I'm like, well, forget you, Yelp.
Well, and the most recent thing I saw for Google My Business pages, if you don't have one, is 87% of people will Google you before they ever reach out to you.
Yep.
If someone refers you, they will go to Google first before they. So,
Yep. So like, let's say, Marguerite, right, your seller was gonna refer you out to somebody else, say, hey, you should absolutely use Marguerite. They're probably gonna say, yeah, thanks for the referral. They'll probably Google Marguerite, right? And then,
and the piece that most important is have your picture, a good close-up headshot as the person. Not a house, not the office you work at, your picture. That's the first they can relate to.
I'm getting a new headshot, please.
Is that the first, is that true if you look like me compared to look like you? I don't know if I agree with that one.
Good.
Team photo all the way.
So speaking of headshots, we will be doing another headshot clinic. We're doing those quarterly, thanks to Brent. So if you do want to update your headshots, just keep an eye out for that. We'll be doing one in about, I don't know, next 2.5 months or so. We also, speaking of tell me something good, can we go to the new agent? We have a new agent join the team recently. We have John Tay Pratt. He's not here, but you see him around the office. That's John Tay. He joined the team. And then moving on. Okay, so I speak.
Hey, tell me something good.
Yeah, it's here, Barry.
Did my first co-sponsor for an agent in Texas.
How'd that go?
Yeah, so going good.
Good.
They're signed up. They're happy. I did nothing. It's great.
So win. That's mailbox money here coming soon. So I don't like being the one that speaks and presents these team meetings because there's so many great people locally and there's so many great people that Brent wants to have speak. But we couldn't find anybody from May 1st, so you're going to get to hear me speak. And what I'm going to be talking about is lead generation, value propositions, and offers. So I recently went to a mastermind in San Diego, best real estate mastermind I've ever attended. Jeff Glover was there. Josh Barker was there. The guy who wrote the Golden Handoff, Nick, was there. There were thousands and thousands of transactions. Like, so for example, Josh Barker, 15% market share. He has 15%. Can you imagine
Oh, that's
having
huge.
15% market share in Roseville?
Insane.
Insane. Like Zillow Flex doesn't even go there because they've tried, but they have no other option but his team. He's like, I don't need you guys.
What town is he in?
He's in Reading.
Oh, Redding, California? Oh,
Yeah. And so, and then, anyways, tons of great stuff. So cutting edge tech, cutting edge tools, cutting edge lead generation opportunities and offers. So we're gonna be sharing that next week. You won't want to miss it. Then after that, we'll be talking about home warranty 101. Guys, honestly, this is a way that I generate and win a lot of listings is by offering exactly what she's gonna be covering. And it's through the listing warranty program. So we're covering that the following week, and then after that. I'm super excited for this guy. I've never heard this guy speak, but he's a legend. Michael Ellickson. He has a coaching program, but what his claim to fame is he doesn't double your business in that you're working with them, will give you your money back. So I'm very curious to hear what he has to say and how he's gonna help us grow our real estate businesses. And then following that, we have the Heathers. With the Heathers, then we're speaking about net sheets. This is another way that I win. So I have a listing coming live in Roseville. I beat out 5 other agents. Okay, so it wasn't just me walking in. It wasn't like a strong referral. I wish it was, because then I have. So quick story. How this worked out was I go on the appointment. He's like asking me all these questions, and he says, "How much am I going to net?" Like nobody else is telling me what I'm going to net, or they said they'll get back to me. I said, "Well, let's figure it out right now." I pulled up this app. I showed him and I texted it to him in the living room. And that was the first little differentiator between me and the 3 other agents he'd met at that point. Okay, so they're gonna be talking about how to use that. And with that specific seller too, I just have to throw this in there. I found out he was a cigar smoker. I saw he was a cigar smoker. I stopped by on a Friday afternoon, handed him 2 of his favorite cigars. So was it the app? I'm gonna say yes, the app had a hand, but maybe it was the cigars too.
Can I just
Marguerite?
add that though, if you guys are not doing net sheets, you're insane. First of all, it's disrespectful to the seller to walk in there and not tell them. People go, oh, well, they should know. They know what they, no, they don't. And the best way to protect your fees and your commissions is to actually put it in a net sheet and give them the breakdown of the costs of selling their home. I always do net sheets every listing appointment. I can't figure out how you don't do it. And you need to do the net sheet when you present offers as well.
Yes.
And while I think it's fantastic, the title companies do them, you need to know how to do a net sheet.
Yeah.
And it takes you literally 5 minutes. The form is in car forms. It says estimated seller's net. And do those net sheets, because guess what I just showed the other day?
What's that?
A short sale.
Oh, wow.
Does anybody in here remember a short sale
yeah.
at our?
They should be called a loan sale. There's nothing.
Yeah,
to
I don't
it.
think it's not yours. It's in Lincoln. It's a short sale, and which means that if you don't understand what your seller's gonna net, you may not know if they can actually close or not.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't seen those in a long time, so most of you are living in bliss. But the reality is that short sales may be coming back. And not a lot. I don't think it's gonna be like it was before, but you need to understand that of going into your listing appointments. Anyway, that's my little pitch. for that.
Yeah, so you do it on a car form, you do your next.
do it on a car form. I do it
Yeah.
with my list, when I put together all my listing paperwork, it's one of the documents that I take with me.
Okay.
And that's where also where I kind of confirm, hey, what do you guys owe on the house, to see, because just because what shows on the tax record doesn't mean that's accurate.
Correct.
Yeah. And I always do. I have.
I'm interested.
Well, I would recommend you buy on it, but I'm happy to share it with you. But I'm writing it off on it. Yeah, but, and maybe we need to do a class coming up about how short sales work, because I don't think we're gonna be bombarded with them. It's kind of rare, but.
It might be a
It's
good
not.
class, but I have like people who bought in like 21.
Yeah.
They sell now.
Yep.
They're having to consider.
Yeah,
short
this
sale.
is
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what they bought it in the end of 2020.
Yeah.
Also, were you gonna mention the regional rallies?
Absolutely, I was gonna mention this. Jose, pull up the regional rallies, but coming up next, May 29th is going to be Cindy Silva live and in person. She's gonna be talking about expanding your market reach. She's an absolute gem, probably one of the most knowledgeable realtors I know, just in terms of sheer knowledge. She knows so many details and so, anyways, fantastic. If you don't know her, you're gonna get to meet her that day. And then, the regional rallies, just give us a tape. Let's get that on the slides next time.
Yeah, so
May?
coming up June fifth, it will be at Cata Verdera in Lincoln. It will be 11 to 3. The cost is $49, which includes lunch. John Sy is coming in to speak at it, who's hilarious and fun. If you guys didn't see him at PCAR. We also have, I think, Wendy Forsyth and a couple of EXP leadership that will be there. It is the time to acknowledge our cappers, our icons, our top producers. We will be having a video photograph. It will be a ton of fun from 11 to 3 at Cata Verdera. So I encourage you to come and you can highlight, how you're doing or highlight other people how they're doing. Last year it sold out, packed house. We ran out of tickets and ran out of seats. So I encourage you guys not to procrastinate, to get your tickets, and we'll get the link up for you next week.
Yeah, we'll have the link. Yeah.
And there will be an after party at my house, which is like 2 minutes from Cata Verdera. So
Fun.
yeah, so after my house, after the Cata Verdera, you're all welcome to come to my house where we'll just like hang out and have fun and have a pool. You can swim, you can hang out. But I'd love to have you, but it's 11 to 3, June 5th, which is a Thursday. Yes. Yes,
I don't know. I barely know what day it is.
It is a Thursday.
it is a Thursday, so it's Thursday, June
Thursday.
5th. Right, and like I said last year, it's a great opportunity to come and, get highlighted if you're a capper icon or if you're a top producer.
Yeah.
We'll be able to get you on stage and, you can hear some great speakers. John is phenomenal.
Yes. So if it is on a Thursday, then we'll just probably cancel this.
Yes,
And we'll meet at CAP.
perfect.
So,
There you go.
she's coming up June 5th. And then, who else? Steve, I think you wanted to speak on something?
Yeah, we are doing something exciting.
Ooh.
Um,
Hold on. Hold on.
here, come here.
Get in here.
Yeah. Okay, so 12 weeks ago, we started a program, basically accountability. So I wanted Gary to pitch it a little bit, but I started following it loosely. Quick story, 90 days ago, I was remodeling my son's duplex, got to 0. You guys all been there with not one escrow? Right?
Yep.
Is that fun?
Yep, no.
Nope.
No.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Well, less than 40 days ago, I just basically said I'll start making calls. And I was kind of following through with some of the stuff Gary's doing. We're going to invite you guys all to be part of this next 12-week challenge. But in my case, I put 5 in escrow the last 30 days and I picked up 4 listings. So we have 6 million in new business because I started following some daily calls. I want you guys to understand, if you're accountable to others, you're going to succeed. So Gary, pitch 12 weeks invite.
All right, so 12 challenge, we're using a system called Sisu. You guys all know what that is, SISU.co. It's offered by EXP. You guys all know who Spring Benson is.
Yep.
Her husband is the one who created it, and that was part of the package deal to bring Spring over. So Sisu tracks every single thing you do. We track your calls, your conversations, how many CRMs you send out, or CMAs you send out, how many people you add to your CRM, how many personal notes, how many offers you write, everything. And the system will actually track from your first conversation until the closed deal, and it will show you the percentages of everything you do. So we had 15 people fully embrace it for the 90 days. We have 28 closings. We have 30 in escrow, and we've made over 3,000 calls. So that's just a rough estimate of what's going on. So now we had 15 people embrace it really fully.
Lexi, what is your experience?
Oh, it was fantastic. There was like mastermind breakout sessions almost every single day of the week. If you wanted to do that, there was power hour calls 3 days a week. If you wanted to do more than that, then you could, which I wanted to do more than that because I need business. But after the 12 weeks, I have my first listing going live next week. I have an investor client now that I'm working with that has 3 listings coming up. So it works.
Are you on our personal team?
No.
You guys are all welcome to be part of what New Vision's doing. Please, we're here as a collective effort, right? We all want to sell more homes. Marguerite's here to help you. Johnny's here to help you. We're here to help you. Join what we're doing. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you guys.
When does it start, Gary?
Starts on May 5th.
Oh, please,
Okay.
everyone write this down. New Vision EXP Do not use the www dot, just
You know
do
the information for this
visionexp.com.
Okay.
If you go to resources and marketing at the bottom, you'll be able to see the 12-week challenge. Okay, and we built that site for everyone to use too.
You said resources, what was that part?
Resource and marketing, you know, on the tab would be tab.
Resources and then marketing,
Yeah,
okay,
and at the very
Thanks,
bottom,
Ben.
it'll say 12 talent.
okay,
It's got a flag.
thanks, Gary.
And then, of course, Alex has his,
Yep, Katie
Katie
Cordomo.
Katie Court tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Kenny?
Alex, did you want to share anything about that? As Alex walking up, you guys give a round of applause to Lisa Massey. Look at all that.
That's right.
Here we go.
Hey, yeah, so tomorrow, right here in this room at 10 o'clock or on Zoom, zoom.alexander.com, I'm gonna go over automation. There's been a number of tech upgrades with the platform, and that's the series I'm working on right now. It's just showing you what those tech upgrades are. And I'm gonna talk about automation. You can send out a listing evaluation and a market report automatically every month. And I'm gonna show you what those look like and how to set those up.
The link is what?
Zoom with alexdyer.com.
Also on newvisionexp.com in the training, if you click that, you'll find all the things that are happening in the office. The stuff Johnny's doing here with this meeting, the huddle, Alex's training. So we put it there as a single resource. You can go one place.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely. All right, guys, isn't this incredible? Like, there's so many things going on, so many things that you can plug into and ways that people are winning. Isn't this awesome? Can you guys raise your hand? Give me- Smile a little bit. Yeah, okay. Make sure you're happy. All right, so we're gonna do one more thing. And it's our keynote speaker, Miss Lisa Massey. You're gonna be speaking on how to improve our zip forms. Right? All right, zip forms 101. All right, everybody, please give a round of applause to Lisa. You clip it or?
Let me know if I'm too loud. Okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. How are you? Gotta liven it up. Let's pass that basket around, the heart basket. Thank you. Put your business card in there. If you need little slips, let's pass those down. You can do the same if you don't have a card. And I am doing 4 gift cards to Starbucks. So thank you. Okay. And you all should have a pen. Okay, so I work for Snap NHD. How many have heard of Snap NHD in the room? Okay, good amount of you. Awesome. Number 2 on the RP drop down, fully partnered with CAR, which is how I was able to become a zip form trainer so that I can help, especially newer agents, how to fill out their contracts, right? So that's how I earn my business on the NHD side. I do not work for CAR. Sometimes people think that. So I do work for Snap NHD. So I can show you where we are actually on the templates that you can create. And a show of hands, how many of you use templates? Okay, maybe a quarter of the room. Okay, but some of you are affiliates too. Okay, I'll do a quick overview on how to create a template, and then I'll show you some of the workspace and some tips and tricks because we have limited time. But you can always set a one-on-one appointment, or we can do, a smaller training where you all bring your laptops and we create those together, okay? Also, I offer 101 on what to look for on a natural hazard disclosure because there's a lot to learn. There's lots of different companies, so I can show you, a side-by-side comparison of other companies, what to look for as well. And then also lastly, all adopted CAL FIRE maps are available on Snap NHD. So anytime you're going to be ordering your NHD reports, they are all fully compliant and updated, okay? So if you guys need an AV38, what to look for, how to fill out the FHDS form, I'm your girl, okay? You have a question or you're just with your hair? Okay, awesome, okay. So let's get started. Some of you have your computers. You don't have to be logged in. Like I said, if you want, you can always do this another time and reach out to me. Oh, duh. That's right. We're not using mine now. Get the Zoom on there. Got 2 computers. Oh, and Shendra, she baked cookies last night. So hats off to her. I know, I just threw her off. She's like, oh. So everyone help yourselves. Okay, so what you want to do, and bear with me. Some of you have been doing real estate for a long time, so hopefully I'll have a couple tips and tricks for you. But if you're newer, obviously this is going to be something you really want to delve into. So remember, templates hold all of the things that don't change: your name, your DRE, your address, things that you don't want to constantly have to be typing back onto that contract every time you upload one, right? Or put an offer in. You want it to just auto-populate on all of your forms. And then also you can add your service affiliates, like your NHD company. Hopefully it's Snap NHD. I mean, I wouldn't be mad. You got your home warranty, right? Your transaction coordinator. So that's the purpose of a template, you guys, is really to save you time. I've actually sat down with agents who have been doing real estate for 20 plus years who have never used a template, and they're like, oh my gosh, what have I been missing, right? It's just a time saver. So when you're logged into your car.org, especially if anyone on, Zoom is there following, you go to templates and you click forms and checklist. And then you want to click new. I erased all of mine. And the two most commonly used templates is going to be a listing or a new purchase offer, but you can create as many templates as you like. You can have a disclosure template where it holds all the forms, any template you want, especially if it's commercial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new purchaser offer, and I like to call it buyer template. And throw out any questions as we go along. And then you'll click residential. Generally, most agents are doing the residential. And then you see how you have the options here. It says, do not automatically apply this template to new transactions. This is great if you're an agent that has multiple templates that are listing, for example, or multiple buyer templates. Generally, I would say like 80%, they just have a buyer and a listing one, right? So this is just saying, hey, we want to apply this to all transactions, or we want it to apply just to one template, okay? So CAR, the way that they train to it is they put the middle option. So again, if you're not an agent that has multiple, for example, buyer templates, this one here just automatically means when you are going to create, you're going to upload an offer, it will automatically pull that buyer template through for you, okay? And then you'll click save. And then we'll go to the all forms, CAR forms. The top, we need to get it to association. You want to add a cover sheet, because remember, we want to fill that out so that way all of your information will populate. Then you can do the RPA, you can do the buyer representation. This is where, and we won't do it right now because on the buyer side, obviously there's a lot of forms that you have to add. But what you want to do when you have time is add all of the forms that are standard and customary on all buyer transactions, okay? And I'll show you in the workspace where you can add more forms when needed, when applicable, okay? So let's just say we have 35 forms in here. I feel like it keeps growing, right? We'll click into the cover sheet. And the longer you've been selling real estate and you're using zip forms, it will start to remember your keystrokes. Now we scroll down. Escrow information, generally on the buyer side, it's going to be, the seller's preference, right? Generally, they're, directing where escrow and title goes. But this is where you can put, and I would recommend seller's preference, you guys, because there actually is a seller's choice NHD company. Kind of smart, right? It's down in SoCal. You can't use them. It's off limits. And then there's also an escrow company called Seller's Choice. So the reason why you don't want to put Seller's Choice is you don't want that to happen. You have to follow the contract, right? So seller's preference, that's where you put that. And then right here is where you would actually fill out, and you can just tab it, your own personal information. I'm just making stuff up here, so. And if you hit tab after each one, it really helps. And then I'll show you guys, do any of you have problems where you have, let's say, a word that keeps saving on your contract where you're like, dang it, why is that misspelled? I can't get rid of it. I'll show you an area where you can clean that up. But because it will remember all of the, there's going to be, especially the longer you've been doing it, you'll have hundreds of names, right? Title companies, listing buyer agents. This is all fake news up here. No fax number. I mean, are we using those? Maybe Title. I don't know. Does Title use them anymore? Fax, yeah.
It's actually more secure than email.
What's that?
It's more
Right?
secure than email.
Isn't that true?
It's kind of crazy.
And then make sure that you guys are putting your cellular phone number. Don't put an office, okay? You want people to reach you. Let's put Gala up here. Okay, so this is where you would fill out the buyer broker information. Now, when you're doing the listing side, make sure you put it on seller's broker, okay? So you only want to fill out that one. Lender, you leave that open. Obviously, you've got JJ Mack, but you know, that could change because you want it to, but sometimes your clients choose. Stay over here. And then same on title information, seller preference, or if you're a buyer's agent and you like to put yours, you could put seller's preference and then put / whatever your preference is. That's another thing I've been seeing too. Past, you leave that open. And then look, you guys, Snap NHD. You can add me here. You can even type my name on the top. That way escrow or your TC knows if they want me to place the order for them, because a lot of title companies are not allowed to anymore. It's not because they're being lazy. It's just that they're requiring not to. They don't want the liability. And then, I don't know, you guys, I see Fidelity in here a lot, so I'll just put that there. Whoever you've got Tara Wells out here. Again, whoever you're working with, this is the time to put your affiliates in here. You want to build those relationships. That way, when you are in a transaction and you need help, you've got someone that you rely on. Transaction coordinator. Now they have a spot you can add. Remember, it's on the buy side. I'm just going to add someone I've worked with. And then once you've filled all of this out, you just click save. And now every time you write an offer, you're going to have all of your information populate for you on all of your forms. And now when all of the changes keep happening, right, and they change the contract and all that, in the transaction it updates, but in templates it doesn't. So I've had to go through and redo a lot of templates with people because it has old forms in it.
Seems like they would fix that.
I know, right? But I guess it gives me something to do to keep doing. And you can go in there and clean them out and take out the old forms and add the new, but honestly, it's just easier to start over. It doesn't take super long. But you can see that took a few minutes. If you have to do that every time you're working and writing an offer, or if you're in front of a client, you want to save time. Time is money. Okay, we're going to click into the RPA. And I'll put start a new workspace. Now, if the internet gods love us, they do, you'll see your stuff. It came over CAR brokerage. That's just my own account. And all of your information will be on here, okay? Now, if you want to go back and update and add more forms, you guys can see that there's the forms and documents off to the right here. And this is where you can go in and you've got forms libraries, which is the CAR forms. You can click there, you can choose your form and you can add however many you want. Or you can go to upload and that will go to your desktop. You can pull what you need through there. That's not a CAR. You're not going to do that on a template though. So that's the template. And again, all of your forms are there. I don't know about you guys, but when I see that thing pop up that says leave site, I'm always afraid to click on it because I'm afraid it's going to kick me out, but it doesn't, I promise. Same thing on the buyer representation. You click into there, I'll just show you. And then I'm going to go through, we're going to go through a transaction a little bit and see it populated there as well. So all forms it came across. So do you guys see the purpose of the template? How that could be beneficial? Okay, awesome.
What we've done too is we'll have like FHA templates.
Yes,
Conventional offer.
as many as you want, that
It's a good-
you never know what type of deals you're going to
So
be
I
doing.
forget to check the box.
Yes. And if you need to go in, let's go back to the list here. So when I go to templates, you'll see that it pops up here. See 'em. So you see the buyer template. People go, oh my gosh, I forgot to do auto apply, or you want to change that functionality. You can It's like magic. I don't know why they don't just leave it there. And see where it says template details? It's kind of like how you're going to edit a transaction. It's the same in the template. You just go to template details, and then that's where you can change this automatically apply function. If you want to change it to maybe it's not a purchase, it's something else, or buyer template. So this is how you can update and change that, okay? Now let's go to transactions. And before we do a transaction, I'm going to show you this little tip for especially agents who've been doing this for a long time. When you want to clean up your RPA, like all your drop downs and everything that start to build, or you have a misspelled word, anything like that, think of that you're cleaning up the transaction. You're here at the top and see where it says TXN tools. You want to click there and then go to the second option, which is look up field manager. And you see how it has select one. I'm up, I'm done. Who's next? Okay. So you can see they're all abbreviated, right? They're acronyms. So you're like, okay, e-company, streets. Now, because I do this a lot, mine are cleaned up. If it was my closet, it would not look like this. So let's just say you've got like 30 title companies, right? Let's say you've got phone numbers, you've got 500 phone numbers. I mean, when you've been doing real estate a long time, you're gonna be like, I don't need all of this stuff, right? Maybe you've got an email, maybe you put the wrong email or it's an old email of yours, for example. So you'll see it and it's fun to kind of clean up, right? So you can clear the fields. So it's all gone, or you can, let's say it's one word that's, you know, keeps populating on. You can just highlight it and delete that word as well. And you don't have to click save after each one. I mean, you guys can see this thing goes all the way down. Oops. See, there's one with a lot. But there's a lot that you'll see this whole line. I don't know why I can't get that to drag down there. Anyway, I promise you there's like 50 options there. So go ahead and you'll just click save before you're done. So for agents who've been doing it a long time, it may take you 30 minutes. So do not forget to click save or you'll be sad for a minute. So that's how you clean that up. Let's go to transactions. And obviously, when you want to create a new transaction, you would just go to new. Is everyone using MLS Connect in here that pulls everything from the listing?
Yeah,
Okay, I hope so.
it's the way to go.
Yes. I've actually surprisingly recently, I've heard some people say no. They're like, what is that? I'm like, oh. So you just go straight to the MLS Connect. Make sure, obviously, you guys are MetroList. They give me, they don't give me access to MetroList. So I'm going to use, I have Beverly Hills. I can sell one home and I'm done. I'm not an agent though.
I wish you could also search by, oh, I guess you can, by property address. You always have to have the MLS number.
Yes, I know. So obviously you can do listing type. You're going to make sure you're in your MLS. I got this, let's see, I think this one was like 24 million. So I really could retire maybe for a year or so. I like to shop. Okay. So there it is. Oh no, this one's 15 million. I'll take it. Use listing. So I like to add the photos in it. And then what you want to do is see how you've got the address here. You can put whatever the address is. I'm just going to put test, but we'll just pretend that's the address. Test drive. And then I like to put like the buyer's last name. You never know. You could have multiple buyers on the same street. So let's put.
So just a little tip that I use myself is I always do last name, comma, first name, dash, property address.
Ooh, I like
Because
that.
then if I look up somebody, like, because I might write more than one offer for a client. right,
Yes.
Which happens a lot. So then I can always search by the name and then the property address that I wrote for. And it keeps everything consistent when you go and you look at all of your
I
transactions.
love that. That's awesome. That's a great tip. I'm going to borrow it.
Steal it away.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put my boyfriend's last name on here. He's gonna buy this house. He just doesn't know it. Might not be my boyfriend after that. Okay, residential, and you guys see, voila, buyer's template automatically pulled through, okay? So you don't even have to think about it. Then you're gonna click save. And then obviously this is the property summary here. But now what you want to do is you're going to fill it out. You go to your documents and you're going to go into that RPA. And here you are. So you can still go onto the contract, right? You can, like the old days before they changed it a year ago, you can still go on there. But what they've done is they've created a workspace to try and keep it more simplified. That way you can work on multiple transactions at the same time and not have to leave and go to different screens. That's the purpose of it. So you can see, you can scroll down on this. Don't be scared. But you have, and it defaults on forms, okay? And all forms, when they come through, when you add them, they're in sequential order, okay? So as you add them down here and you want to add them into the actual workspace, because you're grabbing it from the transaction, right? So if you want to, let's say, add this buyer representation broker form, you just click the plus and boom, there it is. See how it says disclosure, agency, relationship. So here's where you have the option to add all of your forms. You also can sign from here. You can send from here. You can download, you can print, and you can delete all from one area, okay? Then I love these sidebars here. You've got your parties. So all in one space, you can add your parties to sign. You add your forms, obviously, listing info, and then offer info. Those are the main ones you're using. Clauses, those are if there's certain verbiage, like maybe a brokerage has, or let's say you want to create individual clauses for, let's say, a home warranty, right? Because now they don't have the box where you just check everything. You can create a clause that says you want this premium, platinum, whatever it's called, right? Package to include, and that way it's a clause that always remains and it just automatically applies to your template, okay? That's what clauses is for. And then tools, that's where you can highlight and create text boxes on your actual transaction. So that's what these functionalities are. Feedback, you can give them whatever you want to tell them. In the beginning, there was a lot of fun feedback. So when you're in forms, remember, this is where you're going to add the forms that aren't customary. They're going to change, right? So you just click the all forms. And then boom, this is where you're going to add whatever forms you want. So let's say there's a.
You can also add your company forms there that aren't necessarily.
Yes, yes. Any of them right here, you can pull them and you can type it right here in this box. That way you don't have to scroll down and look for your form. Okay, so we added that form. And then again, it just populates right into your forms and documents, which again, will be right over here in sequential order. Okay, so whatever you click on, boom, it comes right there. So it really does make it easy. Offer info, again, this is where you're going to put your offer in, right? 20 million if you want. Closing date, however you're going to fill this out. It's just very easy instead of having to scroll down the old way and find, okay, what box are we going to go to? So that is the purpose of this here. Now, I want to show you guys a little tip. 10, okay, we're good. Now, listing info on this. So when you have a buyer and let's say the listing agent says, hey, you know, we're going to go with a different offer, right? So you're like, okay, but your buyer has a plan B option. So you're going to go back to your buyer and you're going to say, hey, that one didn't get accepted. So what we're going to do is we're going to put an offer in on this one, right? So the best, easiest way to do that is instead of starting a transaction all over again from start to finish, just go to listing info. You're going to click import up here, and then you're going to click import listing. And then you're doing the same thing that you did at the beginning, right? When you're putting that offer in. This one's not going to be as juicy of one, so downgrading. You put the new MLS ID in on that new house, that new offer, right? Then it says replace existing data with imported data. And then you click import. Okay, it says it's successfully imported. Usually goes to a different page when I do that. Let's see. Hold on. Did you guys see it import? Usually. Let's go back and see if it imported it. It's supposed to be so much cooler than it turns out right there. Usually it brings you right there. Okay. Let's do previous. So now you have that option, right, where it says you open up previous. So you're just picking up where you left off, right? So let's see. Where is that? Okay, so it did pull through. So then what you want to do is now that that's pulled through and all of the information on that new listing came over, it basically took out the old one and put in the new one, right? So then what you do is you just now are going to go to purchase offer and you're going to just change that. You've already got your buyers in there, right? Who needs to sign it?
They might like that $20 million offer.
I know, right? And I'll show you where you can also make a copy of it too. Like sometimes people like to have that copy. Obviously, it's going to be in your signing packet, but some people like it in their transactions. So I'll show you how you can make a copy of it, then go in and replace the listing, okay? So this one, obviously, you're just going to put whatever your new offer is going to be, and then you're going to just change a couple terms on there, right? But just remember, it's taken everything out from the old listing. It's brought everything in that new listing agent has put in, the property address, you know, with the prices, and the address. So this is where you just, this is all you have to do is add this. You've already got the prepare signing and the parties. Now on your parties right here, just to give you a quick, you can just do add. Obviously it's got some listed there, but if you need to add a new party to it, you have this drop down here. You have a lot of options. So let's say you're going to have like a buyer attorney, right? Or a seller attorney, however it's going to be. You can add them to this. You just need their first, last name, and email address. And then you can click save right here. So you can add as many parties that you need to sign. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to copy. Go back to transactions. So see, this one's a test here. Just go to the top and then click copy. And then just name it. Just say, you know, this one fell through, or, you know, went with another, you know, went with another offer. However you want to name it, the file. You can say fell through, and then click whatever boxes you want that you want to keep all of those forms in there to include. And you can also add more detailed notes, because you never know. That listing agent may come back and say, you know what, that buyer actually was not qualified, and we do want to go forward with your offer. So then you click save, and then boom, they're right next to each other. Okay. Do you guys have any questions? You guys are so quiet today for a Thursday.
Another,
Well, I didn't put you to sleep. Now, if I read my NHD report, you might be asleep.
another little quick tip when you guys go into DocuSign or DigiSign, and it tells you the signing order, make them all one.
Me too. I love that one. Yes.
Because if it's 1, 2, 3, then, and especially, love you guys, but if the husband gets it first, the wife will be like, I didn't get it.
Yes.
She doesn't know. So make all the signups
Yep.
one, and everybody gets it at the same time.
Yep. And you never know. Someone could have a job where maybe they're a doctor, they can't get to it, but it's holding up the
Holding up
party,
everybody
right?
else. And
Yep.
the other people think they didn't get it. They'll be like, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I'm like, I sent it to you, but you gotta wait for Bob. to send it."
Yep. So yes, thank you. No signing order.
Lisa, I vaguely remember when I was
What?
selling real estate, you could put your logo
Oh.
on like the RPA and all that. Am I remembering that wrong, or is that your broker logo? Wasn't there
I
like?
don't know. Maybe in your profile, can
I
you do
could
that? Like
swear
on a
You
signature?
could put your logo like on the RPA, can't you? Or is it the broker logo? I might be
I don't
remembering
know.
that wrong.
I
but
think you can, but I don't.
I think it's the broker. I think it's the broker.
Is that what it
broker
is?
logo, Yeah,
Okay, that makes
yeah, it's the
makes
broker
sense.
logo.
That actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So in your profile, and I tell everyone, you can put your glamour shot up there if you want. Let's see.
Most this younger generation doesn't know what a glamour is.
Right.
I know how to glamour shop.
Oh my gosh, I did one
It was
year.
the best.
They
You're
were
like, look
what
over
they
your
did to my
shoulder.
hair was I looked like Ellie Mae off the Beverly Hillbillies. My hair was so pink curl, and it was all bad.
Oh,
Some
God,
shoulder
it's good.
pads, come on, big hair, come back.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But this is where you can go in to your settings right here if you need to update anything. So Authentisign and DocuSign. So this is where you can toggle DocuSign. The great thing about using DocuSign, if you have another business outside of real estate, you can use that outside of transactions, right? But on Authentisign, obviously that's just exclusive to zip forms, okay? But this is where you could do email options. I was also wondering if you could do like a signature page there. And then make sure that this template preference, I don't know why, but some are checked and some are not. But import template data to transaction when template is applied. When that change came over, some people it just glitched and they're like, where did my template go? That's where you fix that. So, all right. Well, that's a little bit of, the tips and tricks. There's lots of other things where you can add, like checklists and whatnot. So if you guys want to do like a deeper dive, some extra things, we can do that as well. But this is like the basic functionality of it. There's a lot of stuff you can go down a rabbit hole if you just really don't need to.
What's the best way for us to reach out to you, Lisa?
916-549-1226, call, text. You can email me at lmassey@snapnhd.com. And I will answer you 7 days a week. So if you guys need an NHD, or also make sure you're ordering that NHD. I don't care who it's with. Like, as soon as you know you're taking a listing, you do not want to come down to any surprises at the end that are going to hold up, especially with all the fires and all the changes there. So order, there's no cancellation fee with using Snap NHD. So why not just do it? And then refresh your report. If it's right now, if it's like at that 45, 60 days, it costs nothing to just say, hey, can you just refresh our report? And I'll resend it to all your parties. And if I've never had the opportunity to work with you, you get 50% off of your first report. So just text or email me and I'll send it to all of your parties for you. And lastly, I do have a beauty business. So if ladies, gents too, if you want, I do mobile spray tan and makeup. So
Good to know.
Mobile spray tan?
yeah, so funny story.
How does that work?
Tell me more.
I know. Getting one before pickleball. I was doing it last night, like till 8 o'clock, and I was driving home. I'm so tired, so I went home and I slept so good last night. But then I kept dreaming that I forgot my laptop for here. Then I forgot my tanning stuff for later I have to do. And it was just all these crazy dreams I had. But thanks to Jose, he saved me because yesterday he's all looking forward to your presentation tomorrow. And I was like, oh, I'm glad we're having this conversation. Order the food real fast. And so it worked out. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Do I get a discount because I already got some?
Of course. Yes, if you've never used it, save it for someone you really extra like. Do you want to pull some names?
Yeah.
Real fast.
Where's the bucket?
Did
Go ahead,
everyone
Marguerite.
start it? Okay, you're pulling.
Oh, I'm pulling. Can I pull my own?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right skin.
I get to win it. Just kidding.
Aaron,
Aaron?
Aaron, Aaron what?
Campanelli.
Campanelli.
Aaron.
Campanelli.
Aaron, thanks.
Sorry, let's see. Hold it.
Joey's.
No, winner. I'll take one of those. Thank you so much.
Hey, while we're doing this, JJ, you mind coming in here so we can get that mortgage update? I think we forgot.
Bogdan. He knows.
Did you say your name?
Bogdan.
That's your last name.
JJ still back there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa.
Maybe you'll pull yours.
Okay.
You're gonna fight, okay, go together.
Oh, I pulled my own. I'm not gonna.
It's okay.
Oh. This.
You're fair and square.
Oh, thank you. I did not intentionally pull mine.
Sure. Playing the lottery today.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. It was a pleasure having you guys. She's incredible. She's also a great resource outside of Snap. She knows everybody. So if you want to connect with Lisa, I would recommend her.
Thank you everyone for your support too. I get a lot of love from you guys, so thank you.
Will you first? We have the mic.
Yeah, I won't take
No, you wanted after spray tan.
that. Name tag. If I don't.
All right. Well, I forgot earlier, we do have a mortgage update. We're gonna keep it brief, keep it snappy, and keep it beneficial to you all. Yeah. And so everybody, let's give JJ a round of applause.
Oh, man.
Move my stuff out.
Oh, you're good. Thanks so much, guys. I thought, man, forgot today, but that's all right. Wanted to hear Lisa and thanks for you. And so, yeah, I wanted to chat really quick. We'll make it snappy, but basically what's going on here? Does anybody know what the Fed wants the inflation rate to be at?
-5.
No, maybe not.
They want 2%.
2%.
Yeah.
Does anybody know where it's at?
2.7, 2.8.
2.4.
Oh,
And do you guys know where it was at the highest point in 2022? Higher.
No, it's 9.
9.1%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So made a lot of headway, if you look at it that way, right? But we're still not where we want to be. And so right now, with all of this, with all the tariff stuff going on, that's kind of the front and center with all the economy that's happening, right? You're hearing about the tariffs, and that could present some challenges, especially if China continues to be a problem. And if that is the case, it could, push or up or down that inflation rate. But here's the real thing that we're looking for is in May, I think it's May 7th, we are going to have another Fed meeting. And in that Fed meeting, they're going to decide if they're going to raise rates, lower rates, excuse me. Hopefully they don't raise. Keep them in your trophies. You heard me right. Okay, so they're going to decide if they're going to lower rates. Yes. And if they do lower rates, is that going to make our mortgage rates go down? Does that make mortgage rates go down? And lower rates? Will mortgage rates lower the same time? Probably not. Most of the times they'll kind of get an idea of what's happening and they could lower rate. They could end up lowering a little bit before that. But don't, once we get closer to that, just make sure your clients are well aware. It's not going to happen all at once. We're probably going to see interest rates floating between 6.25% to 7.25% through this spring market. So don't think that we're going to see all of a sudden these interest rates coming down. We did at one, Wall Street was saying we're going to have two rate cuts this year. Now they're saying we could have at least 3 or 4. So that is a good thing. Hopefully that means that inflation will come down and inflate. If they don't want to do it too fast though, because if they lower rates too fast, that means inflation could shoot up. More people buying, more people getting employed, more money going into the economy. So they just need to make sure that we're not doing this too fast. If they do it too slow, then that means that more people could be getting unemployed. So they have to do this balancing act, right? So here's some quick stats for you guys to know so you could reach out to your clients. Home prices, are they up or down this year? They're up by 2.7%. Existing home sales, are they up or down this year? They're down this year, 5.9% nationally. Could be here, maybe a little different. Usually Placer County is better than the national numbers. Texas isn't doing so well right now. And then, you guys know how many first-time home buyers, the percentage of first-time home buyers that are purchasing homes right now in this economy? 32% of all the market. Yeah, 32%. Nicely done. Yeah.
Is that up or down?
It was 40% last year. So it is down a little bit, but still that makes up 40% is pretty high.
That's big.
Yeah, but that makes up a big amount of all the home buyers.
Somebody
right?
recently told me that the average age for a first-time home buyer is 38.
38.
Wow.
Ain't that incredible?
That
Yep.
is.
And talking about that, these let's talk a little bit about Gen Zers, right? The younger generation coming in. Do you know where they're putting their money? They're putting their money into riskier assets. Do you know why they're doing that? Because they don't feel like they can actually make a difference in the S&P and the bond market. And so you're putting more, Gen Zs are putting their money into things like cryptocurrency. 44% of the money that's coming into the market from Gen Z is going into cryptocurrency, compared to only 32% going into the national stock market. But do you know where those things are flowing out of? When they sell that cryptocurrency or their stocks, you know where it's going? Into real estate. And so they're buying real estate. Those 38-year-olds are coming in and they're buying. And so that's part of the big thing we need to be talking about. Learn about these things, learn about what these Gen Zers want. And a lot of times right now, they want to go out and they want to get self-employed, right? It's a lot of them are self-employed, they're doing their own businesses. So I wanted to share with you really quick. Did you know that you can have a bank statement loan and utilize 10% down payment? Most people think you need 20% down on a bank statement loan. That means that all you need to do is give me 12 months of bank statements, and I look at those bank statements, and if you have $10,000 as deposits every single month, then you have $10,000 of income a month. So most people believe that, and this is for self-employed borrowers, most people believe that they're going to have some other math formula, whatever, a percentage of that. No, it's whatever your 12 months of bank statement divided by those months, that's your income. So I can't tell you how many times we've been able to help clients that are coming in that didn't think they could purchase because we put them to bank statement loans. You got those self-employed clients that aren't approved on a regular conventional type loan. This is a great option, and the interest rates are only about 1/4 to 0.5% higher. So great stuff. The last thing I want to share with you guys is I hope that you guys can all come to our Cinco de Mayo, May 1st. We do these because we believe that relationships are made over in between. Yes. Margaritas. Relationships are made in person. We want to support you all. So invite your clients, invite your family, whoever you can come on over. We've already have 200 people registered. So we want you guys to be there. It's going to be a ton of fun. Taco truck, margaritas, a whole mariachi band. So come on, May 1st from 11:30 to 1:30. Any questions for me, guys?
Be able to go back to work. right?
Yeah.
Showings before.
Should be a holiday.
11 a.m.
It's on a Thursday. It's only 2 hours. So
Okay.
only gonna give you one drink ticket.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's no questions, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Feel free to text call. Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming today. Was this meeting helpful? Was it beneficial? All right. Well, hey, we'll see you next week. Bye online.